It's New Year's, and you're setting your resolutions to take drastic measures to improve your life. Except it's not. It's February, or when you're watching this, maybe even later. And guess what? Your goals? They went down weeks ago. So, what's the issue? When trying to accomplish goals, most people seek sources of motivation as mental fuel to keep them going. In the end, they rarely reach, let alone maintain, these goals. But don't give up. Another more reliable source of this mental fuel is discipline. In fact, discipline is less like fuel and more like a physical barrier that prevents you from straying off of the path to success. Thus, in comparison between motivation and discipline, we find one major difference. Motivation, which keeps you running, is temporary. It doesn't last forever. Discipline, which doesn't let you leave the path that you're running on, is long-term. For better analysis, let's see the dictionary definitions. Motivation. According to Google, this is the reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. Discipline, on the other hand, is... There it is. To train oneself to do something in a controlled and habitual way. But evidently, we associate discipline with pain or suffering, and motivation with immediate success. Here's our logic. If we have many compelling reasons to do something, surely we will do it. The issue is that we have been taught to be afraid of pain and hard work, and to avoid such things accordingly. Hard work is necessary for success in society, with success being the condition of being in the place which best benefits you and your community. The struggle for motivation is a modern issue which most young people identify with. To fix this, let's look at past generations, particularly within the previous century, for a more relatable comparison of lifestyle choices. Both world wars pushed technological innovation to unimaginable lengths, as did the Cold War as tensions between the East and West were prevalent. Antibiotics, as in penicillin during World War II, radio and television becoming a newfound worldwide media source, vaccines, and military technologies are the main areas of growth during this time. Other technologies included electronic appliances and tools which would reduce the amount of labor in the workforce and at home. With the newfound intention of attaining peace after World War II, society's lifestyle and standards only began increasing as international political tensions reduced and technology continued advancing. By the mid-70s to 80s, a way of life that strongly reflects modern habits arose. People changed from doing most tasks out of necessity to doing most tasks for pleasure or a diluted sense of necessity. The major difference? We now have access to everything. From online shopping to internet databases, this statement can be taken quite literally. Living now is so much easier, but so is being lazy and doing just the bare minimum to get by. So, motivation is what people have turned to with the hope of taking more control over their lives and stepping out of the dangers of complacent comfort, a goal that previous generations never had to set because comfort was never so easy to attain. However, modern ways have also brought more challenges that can destroy motivation in an instant, such as procrastination. When your phone, laptop, and other devices are constantly accessible, why would you feel the need to stay focused and productive? On the other hand, the internet is filtered to prioritize flawless people and things. How can the youth of today battle perfectionism in a world where everything they perceive has been edited to perfection? Screen time. Modern learning has been transferred to online resources. From Google Classroom and D2L to merely using an online document for every single writing task, education for many kids has been reduced to a small screen that only provides more distraction and impaired vision. Recent research shows the negative effects of being on a laptop or phone all day. The only way to combat these effects is through pure intentional self-discipline, which is nearly impossible to teach unless kids and adults are shown why they must be disciplined. And lastly, here's one you might not have expected. Normalize lifestyle habits. i.e. diet, exercise, etc., and youth. Refined sugar isn't everything, we get it. Sodium, saturated fats, empty calories lacking in nutrient density, these are all factors that affect the average diet. The lack of exercise, even merely as a result of less walking and less time spent outdoors, are factors that affect the average person's physical well-being. Optimal health, or homeostasis, inner balance or equilibrium, is an underrated part of succeeding in everyday life. People need energy and nutrients for physical growth, development, and well-being. So why wouldn't it be the same for mental development and well-being as well? Our brains need nutrients and energy to continue functioning and benefiting us as much as any other part of the body, especially for growing youth. Lastly, self-improvement has recently become a trend, meaning that most people aim to improve themselves for the quote-unquote aesthetic or visual appeal/appearance, but treat this improvement as a necessity. The truth is, we don't need to improve ourselves, and not everyone needs to see us work on ourselves if we choose to do so. This mindset of self-improvement having to be a beautiful work of art and a never-ending display of inspiration is fake. So using such a mindset as motivation when the imagined reality doesn't even exist only sets ourselves up for failure. The result of all of this? We now spend too much time seeking comfort through the fragile motivation which only feeds complacency. In order to push ourselves and truly work towards improved lives, we must step outside of this comfort zone with discipline. Remember, we are not dogs who need treats to listen and be productive. And most of all, we are living in an epidemic of laziness and procrastination. It ends when we learn how to balance motivation with discipline and slowly rely more on discipline to succeed consistently. Now, time for the good news. All hope is not lost. Here are some ways to combine motivation and discipline to perform tasks. It won't be easy, but that's the point. First of all, discipline. You can set a routine to develop healthy habits, employ trusted friends and family members to hold you accountable, do a little every day because consistency is key. Forgive yourself when you mess up, but keep going, and remember that repetition is crucial even when you don't want to do what you have to do. Of course, our secondary method is motivation, for which you can find people who inspire you and look up to them, establish a reward system with caution, create a motivational journal or vision board, and set daily, weekly, monthly, and even yearly goals. You might even feel inclined to research how to set SMART goals so that you can envision your future successful self. Side note, another pro tip might be to rewatch this video if you find it helpful, but I would still highly recommend that you try to rely more on your intrinsic motivation and sense of discipline, because that is what will truly help you to become more independent in the pursuit of your goals and more consistently successful. And finally, you must take into account the less committed you are to yourself, as in the more promises to yourself that you break, the less your brain will trust you and the more likely you are to give up on yourself before even trying. You build confidence and inner trust through consistency. So use these strategies to develop trust in yourself and the confidence that you need to stay consistent and reach those goals. Okay, it is outro time. I think this is my longest video, I'm not 100% sure. But if you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, all that jazz. I'll make the outro short because the video is already fairly long. But for now, have a wonderful week and I will see you again next Sunday. Bye for now.